Welcome! Today we will learn the poem Time for Everything. There's a time to run and a time to walk. There's a time of silence, a time for talk. There's a time for work and time for play. There's a time for sleep at the close of the day. There's a time for everything you do, for children and for grown-ups too. The time is time to stand up and a time sit, but see that the time and action fit.
So, students, do you learn the poem with Tanishka? Let's repeat again. There is a time to run and a time to walk. So, we have the time for running, time for walking. Sometimes we walk, sometimes we run. Right? There is a time for silence, a time for talk. So sometimes we have the time for talking and sometimes we remain silent. We did not talk. We never talk with somebody. Okay. So there is a time for work and a time for play. So sometime we work and sometime we go to play. So time for play. Likewise, there is a time for sleep at the close of the day. So when the day ends, we go to sleep. So we have time for sleeping. There is a time for everything you do. Its meaning is everything, whatever you do, requires time. So there is a time for everything you do. For children and for grown-ups too. So the time is required whatever we do for children as well as for the elder ones. So we have the time, a time to stand up and a time to sit. So we have the time for sitting, we have time for standing up. But see that the time and actions fit. So, but we have to make a judgment to fit the time and the actions whatever we do. So we have to manage the time for doing our actions, for doing the different tasks. So there is time for everything we do. Now let's see the answers and questions. Question number 1. When it is the time for sleep? At the close of the day, there is time for sleep. B. What is mean by there is a time for everything you do? The meaning is whatever we do, every task, everything requires time. So it is called there is a time for everything you do. When you play, you talk, you sleep, everything counts time. Question C. Who should do everything at a proper time? Take the correct answer. Children and grown-ups both should do everything at the proper time. We should manage the time properly. So answer is both. Children and grown-ups. Question number 2. One line in this poem contains its message in short. Write down that line. Can you guess that line? It is the last line that you have to fit between the actions and the time. But see that the time and actions fit. This is that line. Question number 3. Match the occasions in A with the actions in B. When you have to catch your opponents in a game of tag. The match in the B is time to run. To catch you have to run. B. When you are on a crowded street. The matches you have to, there is time to walk. C. When somebody has asked you a question, time to talk. D. When you are in a library or hospital, time to be silent.